Hi, good morning to everyone. So in this session now we are going to study about the Java basic program for the beginners. So actually before studying the Java basic program we have to know about the what are all the things we have to use in the Java program. So basically before studying the Java program, so everyone have to have the knowledge on the structure of Java program. Why? Because directly if we go to the program, some of the people may get the confuse of that. So it is mandatory to have the study on the structure of Java program. So while going to be that structure of Java program, so in the writing of the program itself we can discuss about the structure of Java program. So why? Because in the Java program itself we are going to cover about the structure of Java program and the basic program. So now we will have the slide information on the writing the Java program, so which is the best and how we need to write the Java program. So I think basically I prefer to write the Java programs. So I prefer to use the Eclipse IDE. So basically, so many people are writing the Java program in the notepad. So basically every beginner is going to write the Java program in the notepad itself. So while you are writing in the Java program in the notepad, it is a good, for the sake of the beginners it is a good. But the thing is what, so for running the program which you written in the notepad, it is somewhat quite, it's take the complexity of time. So whenever if you're writing the program in the Eclipse IDE, so it is quite obviously it is in a complex. So it is advanced technology using the Eclipse IDE, so they develop for the Java programmers. So I say that, so most of the people convert to the Eclipse IDE. So I don't say that you don't use the notepad. So the notepad is a very important thing here. So the having some information on the Eclipse IDE when you compare to the notepad. So when you are writing the program in the notepad, so actually you have to create one folder. So after that your program needs to be saved that in that folder, and then you have to use a cmd command. And after that you have to write you have to run in a terminal which you written in the notepad. So actually when it comes to the Eclipse IDE, so that is basically very advanced. So you don't want to create the class and you don't want to type each and every line. So using the dot operators, the Eclipse IDE, it performs the certain task, it's automatically, just you have to click that. So if I click that, I need the dot operator. If I click that system dot, it shows the how many you need, which based on which your program is going to be execute. It gives a number of things. But what I say that, so using the notepad itself, it's best. So but the thing is, it's a time complexity thing. So and each and every line you have to mention by the error. If you want to find the errors or if you want to clear the errors, you have to go back to your program and you have to modify your program. So these and all the elaborated process will be in the notepad. So when it's come to the Eclipse, you will see when I was writing the program, you will see about the how the fast of the program is going to be finish the program and it is going to be run. So using the Eclipse, so many Java developers are using the test, and they are using the, and not only that, you can create the small projects like the Maven projects using the operating systems. So you can run your program in the Eclipse IDE. Not only that, you can debug your program and you can know what are the values you are giving and how much the value is going to be executed and how it is going to be add or incrementing or decrementing. It shows everything perfectly in the Eclipse IDE. When you compare to the Java, so if you get the error, you can't find in the actually in notepad. So what I prefer, please move to the Eclipse. So having the advanced tools in the Eclipse IDE, so you can test the JUnits, or you can test your code and you can debug your code and you can create a number of classes within a fraction of seconds. So the thing is, you have to create to run the program within a fraction of time. So in this session, actually the thing we are going to focus on a basic program in the Java for the beginners, how it is going to be run and how it is going to be search for the class and how we are going to create the class, and what is a mandatory thing in the program, and what is the none of the it's an optional, we can know in this program. So let's move to the program. So there's an Eclipse IDE for the Java developers. So actually, if you need to have the install, if you did not install the Eclipse IDE, I'll send you the link. I will send you the link in my videos. You can go through that and you can download the Eclipse IDE, and you can actually write the code for the entire program and you can execute. See, first of all thing here, you can, if you click the file, you can get the new. So if you want to create the new class, see, you can look out here. So if you go to the new, so you can create the Java project and the Maven project and the small project and the package or the interface, enum, record, and the source file, how the Java program is going to be run, and the JUnit cases and the task. These are all the things you can know it here. So not only that, you can edit your program, and then not only that, source, what are the source file you're having, the refrigerators and the navigate and the search project and the run, and you can modify using the Windows, or if you need any help from the Eclipse, you can use here. So the thing is what, quite obviously, if you're using the Eclipse for it has the advanced tools, you can modify, you can debug and everything. So actually, if you are having some doubt and you are writing the program, it is have the case sensitive, automatically it shows here the line number, it is having the error. You can know. Now I will show the, so now you'll go to the basic program. Okay, so click on here, and not only that, so if you click the Control plus N, so you will get here, and I did the class. Okay, so yeah, I am getting the class. Okay, click and next. So what will you the class name? So actually, when you are creating the Eclipse, the source folder or the package is very important thing here. So why? Because in this two, if you don't have anything, if you keep the default, we cannot create the class name and we cannot go into the executing the program. So first of all, I will give the class name. What I will give, so I will give the hello world. Hello world. So okay, so I will give the hello world. So actually, when you are giving the class name, so the class name must be start with the uppercase letter, that is H. I will give the H or N, whichever you the, it has to be the uppercase of the class name. So okay, so the program has to be needed the public. I will give the public. So why? Because it is an access modifier. So what is access modifier? We will study in the further modules, but the thing is what here I am using the public. So public is, the public is visual to world. So actually anyone can see my code or the program, they can edit or they can run the program. That's how I was using the public. So after that, I will give the public static void main strings array. So why I am giving the public static void main strings array means, the thing in every Java program, the main method will be compulsory. If you take the C language, so C language have the void main, so that is the main method. So same as Java, we have the public static void main. We will discuss in the further modules about this thing. So I click the finish. So actually I got the basic Java program and hello world and public static void main I got it, but I can remove this. This is not the mandatory thing here, that is a to auto generate. I can skip. So the package, so when it's come to the structure of Java program, actually the first place or the first priority we are giving the package statement. The package statement is an optional thing for the programmer. You may or may not use the package statement. You may not, it is not a compulsory thing that every Java programmer should be use the package statement. So it is an optional. You may or may not. That is not the thing you use a package statement or not. That is up to you. So after that, I will use the import. You should not use the uppercase here. see, sorry, I'll show that. If I use a dot operator, so actually here in Eclipse the dot operator performs many conditions. See, if I use the dot, say how many it is showing that Java applet or the Java abstract window tool or the WT color or the data transfer, so many things it is going to be show that. So that's what I say, that the Eclipse is a advanced tools. It is prepare for the advanced tools. So if I use it dot operator, I'll use a click. See, if I use the dot operator, after that if I use a U, it will show the utility. Okay, I need the utility, I'll click the enter, finish. So the import statement, why we are using the import statement? To import the files from my program to execute whole program to give a certain output. So there is also, I may say that some cases the import statement is very important thing, and in some cases the import statement is an optional to the programmer. So basically, anyhow, if you want to be a perfect Java developer or Java programmer, the structure of Java program, if you follow the hash like, that is a good programmer, we will think that. So I created the import java.util.scanner, I completed here. So okay, this is the public. So what is a public here? So public is an access modifier. What is this access modifier? You may get the doubt. So when it's come to the access modifier, so access modifier is nothing but Java providing the n number of control statements to protect the application or the program written by the user. So why I am using the here, you may think is here the public. Okay, there's a public you have. So in the place of public, I can use the private or the protect or the default, anything I can use here. So the thing is, public is nothing but it is visible to world. So when it is take to the private, it is only visualized to the person who written the program. And when it takes to the protect, it is going to protect your program with a certain firewalls or the antivirus. It is going to be protect. And not in that, if I give the default, so many things, if you go into the further programs, I cannot use the public also. I can use the default. Directly I will use the class name. I will give the class name, the customer or anything. I will go through my program. So the thing is, to protect my program or the visual to my program to the public, so I will use the access modifier. So here if you talk about the modifiers, the further modules will talk about the modifiers. So there is two subdividers about the modifiers. Actually the modifiers has been divided into two types. So one is access modifier and non-access modifier. So we'll study the both things in the further modules for the sake of having some knowledge on the program. So public, every programmer, the basic beginner program will use the public. So after the class, so everyone will know what is this class. So a class is a blueprint. So what is a class, a blueprint? So think that if I am constructing my home, so actually how can I construct my home? If I have the blueprint only, I can construct my home. For example, think that if I going to construct one home, that is a duplex building, I need to construct. Actually I need the one blueprint, and where my bedroom has to be, where my kitchen has to be, where my hall should be, and where my place has to be adopted in a room, and everything will be in the blueprint. Same as here I am using the class name, that is a hello world. So you can give the class name not only the hello world. So for the beginners, it is I am saying the mandatory thing, use the hello world. So the class name will give the hello world. Actually before I has given the class name, it is given the ready-made everything. So after that, after a class, the second is a main method. So the main method is very important thing for every Java program. So if you create the n number of methods or the subclasses, but actually when it's come to the end, it has to be main thing, public static void main string arrays. So actually we discussed about the before thing, the static, public. So public is an access modifier. When it's come to the static, so the static, when it's come to the static, so the static gives the output using the static or the non-static methods. So about the static or non-static method we will study in the further modules. But the thing is here, why we need to use a static here? So because a static, basically if you take the static, it is most of the people will say that it is a static is a keyword and this will say. So actually using the statistic is very important in the program, because after the public we have the static. So static, using the static itself we are going to execute certain methods or the certain lines of code. Using the static itself we are going to be execute some of the program. When it is come to the void, after that we have the void. So what is void? So void doesn't return any value. So this line doesn't return any value. So why? Because we return the void. In any language, if you take the C++ or the C language or the Java or the Python, if you return any line void, the void doesn't return any value. So when it's come to the main method shows there's a main method, and this line doesn't return any value. So the purpose of thing we are using the main. So when it comes to the strings, so strings and arrays, args we'll call. So the thing is, from here to here we call it as a parameters. So the Java is a purely object oriented. So everyone will say that Java is a purely object oriented. So we have the parameters here. So why we are using the parameters, we will study in the methods topic. So where we will use the parameters. So you can use the strings and arrays. So if I stop here, so my cursor is stopping here, it shows the string class represents the characters. So what is the strings and what is the arrays we will study in the further modules. For the sake of now, we'll have the slight information on this. So after this we have the bracket. So open brackets we'll call it, or the open branches. So what is the use of this? So every Java program begins with open branch. Why? Because I'm opening the door to enter into my program, and I'm closing the door at the end to stop my program. So from the opening the door and the closing the door, in that opening branch and closing branch, my program has to be run and it has to be executed in the opening branches and the closing branch. In that only the program has to be run and execute. So every program will be end semicolon. So actually when you take about the main method, so when you take about the main method in the C++ language, actually the main method will be end with the semicolon. So when it's come to the Java, actually we won't use a semicolon. So we are opening the branches to enter into the code. So think that, so having a small note on this, so if you are opening the two open branches, actually the close branches has to be 2. If you are opening the 5 branches, the closing branches has to be 5. So equal closing branch to be applicable in the program. So after this, so we will go to the another thing. So I'll use one of the thing here. So scanner. So what is this? Scanner object is equals to new scanner. So actually Java is a purely object oriented. We discussed in the before modules. Actually, how can I create the object? So I have taken the object name as a scanner. Okay, having a attention here. So I have taken the scanner object here and I have created the new scanner and system.in. So why we need to create the object itself? If you ask the why we need to create the object in the program itself, why? Because using the object itself, our program has to be going in a certain executable. So scanner is in one object. So you can use any object and you can create the new object and system.in. So there is a mandatory thing here in every program. So it may be sometimes it is not the mandatory thing. You can take it's an optional thing. So after that you will go to the at last executable statement. So when you take about the in any language, printf is an executable statement in every language. So when you take about the Java language, it is a purely object oriented and it is a strongly protectable for every developer. So why it is very protectable means, so no ethical hacker or the AI hacker cannot hack the Java programs. Why? Because it have a strong building applications and the backend up and running. So that's what. So if you take the Python, we have the printf, on the C language also printf, on the C++ also. So when it's come to the Java, actually we have the 3 words to execute the program. So the one is, I think, so if you take the system dot, so if I click the system and if I click the dot operator, it shows which you need. I need the system dot out dot. Okay, again I will click the dot. Again I need the println. So I will click the PR. Okay, it will show here. So I will click here and click enter. So finish. What I can give here? So what thing here? The system dot out dot println. The system is going to be import the files and out. So give the output and println. So to print the output in a double quotation. So I can give the what I can give. So I can give the program start. I will give that here. I will give the program start. So I will give the program start. Okay. Same thing again. I will give the here again system dot. Again I will use the dot operator. So actually it is moving here. Okay, I will give the system dot. Again I will take the here. If I click the dot operator, it will again I will give the enter. So again dot operator. Again we will get the println. So if I can't search here, you can there here. So okay, click enter. So again I will give here what I can click that. Okay, I will give the Java as a powerful. Okay, so I have completed. So everything which you are written in the println statement, so which you have to give the strings means you will give the in a double quotation, and at the end we will close the using the double quotation. So we will double quotation, we will end our the statement in the system.out.println, and at last we will close the semicolon. So after that again we will use the system dot. Again I will take here system dot. Again I will click enter. So after that again I will click enter. Not only that, I will use the dot operator. Again I will take the println. Okay, click enter. So after that in a double quotation I will give the program end. I will give here program end. So program end I will give here. So okay, program end. So the thing is here, first it will start the program, it will print program start, and after that it will print the Java is powerful. After that program end. So this is the basic Java program. So if I run this program, we will look after that what we will get the output. Yeah, I think so. We're getting the program start and the Java is a powerful and program end. So the 3 outputs we are getting. So basically the thing is that based on what condition and what parameters and what the output you need to get and what and all the syntax. So actually when you talk about the syntax part, so Java has a number of syntax for every decision making statement or the looping statements, and here for the basic program we didn't have the syntax. If you want to learn the basic Java program, first of all you have to go through the structure of Java program. Then by knowing the structure of Java program, you move to the Java basic program. Then you know the understand of a Java basic program. So actually Java is also a case sensitive. So what is this case sensitive means? However your wish, you cannot write the program Java program. Certain there have some of the restrictions or the rules and regulations to write the Java program. So these are all the rules and regulations which I follow to write the Java program. So not only this, you can modify Java program in a number of methods, and based on your creation you can create the Java program. That is not the basic thing which I written. You have to written the same thing. So based on your conditions and based on your wish, you can create the Java program. And we got the output of this program. Actually program start and Java is a powerful and program end. So I'll show the one thing here. So actually if you have this, and actually you can debug here. So if you're thinking here, see, you can debug the program. So if you click here, so there's a symbol. If you click here, you can know the debugging of method of this program. So you maybe know the basic program. Actually when you have the when you know the error, so how can you know the error means? So actually if I write the S and I will give the space, actually here it shows the into mark in a red mark. So if you click here, it will show the what error exactly you have in the program. So actually it is showing the add the type of parameter. So actually I didn't have the parameters in this program. So actually what is missing here, you exactly know here. So public static, yes, it is nothing but you have created one object and that object doesn't have the main object. You have created the directly new object. Actually the thing is we don't have the actual object. So I'll show that about thing. Yeah, you can know here. So now we have cleared the error. So actually in the Eclipse directly it shows the error in the point of line number, and if you clear, and automatically it moves to the next line. So this is about the Java basic program. So if you like this program, have a like and subscribe.